What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And LeVon Maynard.
Hey, welcome to the show.
What is going on? Welcome to Tuesday's episode. Monday and Tuesdays are our topics, Wednesday's discussion, and then Friday is the weekly rundown. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I give it to LeVon for this week.
Yes, sir. So this week we have an article from TechCrunch from Carly Page. This one's focused around DoorDash. DoorDash was hit by a data breach linked to Twilio hackers. So essentially, the food delivery giant DoorDash has confirmed data breach to expose customers' personal data. Let's see. It says that the attackers access names, email addresses, delivery addresses, and phone numbers of DoorDash customers. And for a small subset, they actually access partial payment card information, including card type and the last four digits of the card number. It also affected a little bit of the dashers. I guess the hackers access data. The primarily included name and phone numbers or email addresses for the dashers. And then a small subset of users were affected by the incident, but declined to say how many users it currently has or provide an accurate number of affected users. So this was kind of interesting. I mean, a lot of people out there use DoorDash and like Grubhub and then Uber Eats. And I think there's a couple other ones that may be lesser known, but it's kind of concerning that, these hackers were able to get this information. It seems like it stemmed off of a kind of another hack that happened to, the Twilio, as I mentioned before, is like an SMS messaging giant. So I guess some of the employees that use that service had their credentials compromised, and then these hackers were able to actually access DoorDash, like kind of on the back end, where the employees have access to a lot of customers' information. And I guess they were able to use that to, they apparently got into the systems. They didn't really go into too much detail as far as what they specifically did within the systems, if they like access a database or just logged in and then copied a bunch of data off, or if they just logged in and just looked around for a little bit and maybe like use a pen and pad and start jotting things down. But it looks like DoorDash had a similar incident in 2019 that I guess affected 4.9 million customers. But it looks like DoorDash says that they, since they discovered a compromise, they hired an unnamed cybersecurity expert to help with ongoing investigations. So they're looking into it and trying to identify what's been compromised. Maybe they're going to try to identify specific customers. Hopefully they're going to send out some notifications to people that are affected. Maybe they give them some free what do you call it? Like identity protection, like LifeLock. Yeah, I mean, we've seen this happen before with a lot of other companies, especially recently we had T-Mobile and some other companies that had some compromises, and then their kind of fixed action is to give everybody identity protection for like a year or something. But we'll have to see what comes of this. I mean, names and addresses are concerning, but not to say that there's a lot that you can do with that besides just know where somebody's at. And then maybe you have the last four digits of the number, which you really can't do much about with that. Hopefully they are able to prevent this from happening in the future, and hopefully none of us are affected by this incident. But I'll turn it over to you, Shannon. What do you think about this one?
Hey, so I'll tell you like this, man. I got a couple things, but I'm not affected because I treat this like social media. Like I don't do any of it. No DoorDash, Uber Eats. Look, I like to eat, but I'll just go get it. You know what I mean?
You just go get it. I'll pick it up.
I just never got into it, like the any of that, the DoorDash, Uber Eats, or anything like that. The only thing being delivered to my house is Amazon packages and pizza. That's it. You know what I mean, when it comes to me. But something in this article that kind of it struck me the wrong way was that they wouldn't say when they discovered they were compromised, right? So like this could have been going on. This could have been one of those things. Was it Target several years back where it was going on for like 5 months or something like that before it was exposed? Like there was a Target one with their card readers, and it was like several months before it was like, hey, we've been hacked. It's been going on for this amount of time. Like, this should be one of those things that's mandatory. And I don't want to get too far off this article or anything like that, but for them to say, yeah, we're not going to tell you when it happened, just know that you know that you possibly been compromised. I got a little bit of a problem with that. But yeah, the fact that they're hiring on somebody for the investigation now, like, why was this person not on the payroll to begin with, right? A cybersecurity expert. If you had to bring somebody in, that means you don't have the expertise in house, right? So I kind of call BS when you say that you already have robust security systems. Well, then you wouldn't need this unnamed cybersecurity expert, as is referenced in the article, right? So yeah, it's a little disheartening, right? And here's the thing, man. Like, the address is getting out there. Like, I have a little bit of a problem with that because people are crazy now, man. Like, they just out there doing crazy stuff, you know. People getting swatted for different things and stuff like that. Like, it could be dangerous, you know what I mean? So I don't want somebody thinking it's funny to have, you know, to have somebody come to my house and swat me and read about it on the news or something like that, because it could just have a dangerous outcome, you know what I mean? Some people think some things are funny, they just aren't funny out there, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, DoorDash, I mean, you guys, you got to do better, right? Like, I don't want to put you in the, even though they are my provider, I don't want to put you in the same realm as T-Mobile, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to put you in that closet, but you might have to go back in there. But Ryan, what's your thoughts on this, man?
No, I agree. It is pretty dangerous. So my thing about it is the information on the drivers, right? It's supposed to be kind of anonymous, right? So information could be used to dox them. So, like, if for whatever reason you didn't like your service, or you want to target a dasher for some reason, now their names and addresses are out there. So that's no bueno, right? Like, that's not good to have that information, because it's the same thing with Uber drivers or various other delivery services, like even Amazon package delivery drivers, stuff like that. Like, they're supposed to have their information. Like, they're supposed to drop your package off. So there's something to that, to being able to release the information to the people who are supposed to be somewhat anonymous. So yeah, that could be used to stalk them and things of that nature. So I don't think that's a good idea. So hopefully this is patched. But yeah, the time is also, like you said, I guess because they're not, well, they do have, it did affect their payment card framework. So you think that they would be under time constraints as well. Like, they need to let us know within 72, 96, something like that, of when this type of stuff occurs. So that's also very suspicious. Like, yeah, only the last 4 were released, but, you know, like, what else are you not telling us type situation? So got to do better. But yeah, again, it's the third party stuff. Like, same thing with T-Mobile to a certain extent. Like, they had some third party breaches. Same thing with Target. Same thing with I think it was TJ Maxx. They had an issue. Well, no, TJ Maxx, I believe, was war driving, so that was like a first party incident. But still, like, major retailers and things of that nature just need to be more proactive and be more careful, especially with people's PII. So I agree with you. Like, it's not a good look. I don't know if I ever used DoorDash. I know I've used Uber Eats. I don't mind the services. Like, I actually like it because a lot of where I live at is a little bit more rural. Rural. I said the word right. So I don't want to necessarily drive 8 miles, 10 miles to go get a pizza or McDonald's or whatever. So I have used the services, but I don't believe we used DoorDash. I think we used Uber Eats and maybe Postmates, but I've been out of the loop for a couple of years now, so I don't exactly know what the kids are doing per se. But yeah, I've always been kind of, I like the service. I'm still getting used to it because I'm old. But I mean, we did it with pizza forever, right? So what's the difference, right? But yeah, they need to fix their systems. They need to figure out what's going on, especially for the health and welfare of their employees, and from my perspective, right? Because you don't want their personal information out there for anybody to have, because it can be a setup, right? Like, you try to DoorDash, I don't know, Scott or Jill, make sure they deliver you whatever the thing is, so you can beat them up, or, you know, whatever nefarious thing you want to do. So definitely not comfortable with that.
So So to address something you said though, when you were saying what's the difference, so like for me, right, the reason I haven't done it is because it's people that you don't know that just go to a restaurant and pick the stuff up and
Right.
take it out, right? When it comes to pizza, they are employees of the place, so like the managers and the other employees see them all the time, to where if you
Yeah,
think
that's true.
something's off with them, like you just can them. You know what I mean? Like I can't tell
Yeah.
you how many times I've been somewhere and it's just, hey, DoorDash for so and so. Somebody just walks in, shows the phone, and says whatever, and then just walks out. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know them. Well, the restaurant knows them less, right? But I guess you probably couldn't sue the restaurant if somebody from DoorDash did something, right? Like you'd have to go to
No.
DoorDash for not vetting properly, I guess. But that's where I see the difference as is that the pizza employee is an employee of that place where people have eyes on them all the time, not necessarily.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
And
But
plus, I'm old and crotchety, right? Like, back in my day, I walked 15 miles to school. You know,
right. That is very true. That is a good like eye-opening type situation that you just described. But it's the future, right? Like unfortunately, like if you want your groceries, they're delivered by somebody you don't know. If you want food now, it's usually delivered by somebody you don't know. Packages, like there's a lot of third-party contractual workers that do these things now. So I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
Especially
drive 10 miles to get that pizza.
especially during the holiday season, right? When it comes to package delivery places, they're just hiring
Yeah.
people real fast.
Yeah, for the surge or whatever. But no, good point. But I'll cut it off here for this episode. Please tune in to Monday's episode where we talked about the Gmail hack, and then Wednesday, tune in for that one for our discussion about the big Twitter promotion that's currently happening. So, and then Fridays, everything else. Hit up all our websites to go by our name. Give me a personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and Clubhouse. And you, LeVon?
Sorry about that. Yes, sir. You can hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Maynard.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.
Take care.